Hey everyone, welcome back to the sunnyside.net, where we have weekly love horoscopes that are right for the Echo newspapers and good old supernatural Kamloops, BC. They're guided hypnosis style meditations, of course. You know, I'm the love hypnotist, right? I've been doing this for years. And, meditations to help with attracting love and mending broken hearts. And there's some fun waking and covert hypnosis tips and tricks you can use in your everyday life and NLP stuff if you like that stuff. And a bunch of fun astrology videos like this one, all found here on the channel. Hi everyone, I'm Sunny, and today I'm gonna rank the top 6 laziest signs of the zodiac. Oh yeah. Alright, last video I focused on the bad boys, and that looked at the dark side of Mars and Saturn. This time we're gonna look at the darker side of the benevolent planets. And because the guys on this list are usually sweet and beautiful and giving, you're not going to believe that they can be super lazy as well. But when you think about it, I'm quite certain you can guess who they are. So if you're sitting at home making bets with your friends, no shouting out the answers, alright? And as always, if you like the videos, please give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with your friends on Facebook. They might be interested in knowing who the laziest sign is. And maybe share it in a YouTube playlist. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them in the weekly Love Horoscopes video that comes out every Wednesday night or Thursday morning here on the West Coast. Alright, here we go. First things first. What's lazy, right? There are a lot of shy signs that simply prefer to stay at home than go out every night, right? But that doesn't make them lazy. There are also a lot of introverted signs that like quietly working away by themselves, and because you never see them applying themselves, well, it's easy to get the impression that they're lazy as well, but just because you don't see them working doesn't mean they're not doing it. So the guys on this list, right, these are the guys here that let other people do the work for them. They like to take the easy way. Some of them prefer the simplicity of it, yeah, it's okay, and others, well, they sleep in, right? They show up late. They half-ass their efforts. And it's not that they don't care. They're just not into the effort. It's also not about being stubborn or getting their own way either. And finally, being messy or sloppy or unkept is not exactly the same as lazy. So some signs, because some signs just aren't into being tidy. That's another list. And although there are similarities, it's not the same, so they don't make the list. Some of them do, because they are lazy, and some don't. But the guys who do make this list, Alright, here we go. Enough blah blah blah. Alright, our number 6 laziest astrological zodiac sign. Scorpio. What? Sunny? Scorpio? Oh yeah. Scorpios are renowned as some of the hardest and tireless workers of the zodiac. They wake up early, they go to bed late, they're leaders, and they're constantly building and rebuilding. They take care of the family, they take care of the business, and then they go to the gym and take care of themselves so that they, can handle everything in between. Yes, it's all true. But when things quiet down, well, Scorpio downtime is also legendary for sitting around the barbecue. And well, more sitting around the barbecue, followed by even more sitting around the barbecue. When a Scorpio plants themselves, they don't move. But that's not what makes them lazy. This is. Scorpios are master manipulators, and like some of the other signs on this list, you can easily find yourself doing things for them and not even notice, and I'm serious, pay attention. Yes. If a Scorpio, say you're at a barbecue, right, and a Scorpio gets up to go to the washroom or something, they'll definitely come back with drinks for everyone. They take care of people, and they will, for the most part, do it every time. So, you won't even notice them getting up less and less. And because they always do it, you're going to find yourself doing it as well. Then, everyone will be doing it. And that's how Scorpio works. And why not, right? Scorpios only created a situation where everyone's being kind and helpful to each other. And it's a better way to live. But before too long, you'll find yourself waiting on them hand and foot. You see, they're that good at manipulating situations in their favor. And sometimes they don't even know they're doing it. But before too long, everyone will be running around doing stuff. But Scorpio, well, like I said, when Scorpio takes a seat, they ain't moving. So, I know it's difficult to believe, but it's true. Number 6, Scorpio. Alright, next. The water signs is going to take a hit on this list because, water signs are emotional. And that means if their heart's not into it, then they're totally going to drag ass just getting off the couch, let alone doing any work. And that brings us to number 5, Cancer. Funny. I don't hear anyone complaining about that one. They are so messy, right? Cancer is so messy and so sloppy, and because they move sideways, you're always waiting for them. And they are shy, and they don't articulate themselves. So you never know what they're doing, even when you're watching them do it. And you're like, Cancer, what are you doing? Right? And then you're left wondering why you're waiting for them in the first place. And I really wanted to rank these guys higher, but being emotional doesn't exactly make you lazy. And even though they're ruled by the moon, which really does have many slow periods of inactivity, the top signs on this list are actually lazy, not moody lazy. So, Cancer slips in the ranking. But here's the real action on Cancer. Cancers actually lose themselves in their activities. They're born artists, and this is part of them that's nurtured in almost everything they do. And this means they take their time, just to make sure everything's right. You'll see the water signs like to lose themselves or immerse themselves in the hypnotic, dreamlike atmosphere of things. And by a long margin, water signs are always doing something to escape reality. And this is all water signs. They lose themselves in drugs and alcohol. Some lose themselves in work or little projects and hobbies, and sometimes they hide away doing their art. And art arrives in many subtle forms, like painting and music, of course, yeah. But it also stretches to dance, cooking, gardening, shopping, whatever they're doing. Seriously, water signs take art to a weird new, everyday kind of level. And for the most part, they often use it as an excuse for 2 reasons. 1, because they're emotionally lazy, right, and they don't want to do anything with you. And 2, because it's a nice, safe bubble that they can cocoon in to shy away from the world. It's great, it's a ready-made excuse, and Cancer is the absolute worst at this. They surround themselves with half-finished or ongoing projects, and they use those projects as an excuse for lazy behavior. Yes, they're super messy, and they're not going to clean up anytime soon because, well, they're busy painting and the paint's going to dry, Or they're too busy cooking to do the dishes, so the dish is going to have to wait. And the list goes on and on forever. Seriously. Alright, now, like Scorpio, Cancers have a lot of energy. And again, looking at them, it's difficult to imagine them as lazy. But ask them to leave their dream world to finish the chores, and well, it is totally going to fall on deaf ears, and that's a lock. You'd probably see that all the time. Alright, final verdict. Is Cancer really lazy, or are they just avoiding everything they don't want to do? And before anyone gets too down on the water signs, you should know that emotional stress causes the water signs physical pain. So, be gentle, right? Especially with Cancer. But having said all of that, is Cancer really lazy? Hell yeah! Seriously! For the love of holy smokes, pick up your art supplies and stop messing up the studio when I'm not here, seriously. And, anyways, whatever. Number 5. I love you guys so much, but seriously, this guy's getting on my nerves. Okay, so again, number 5, and I wish I could rank you higher. Cancer. Alright, calm down, Sonny. Next. Alright, next. Okay, well, our next sign, I know them as diligent workers. Not exactly hardworking, but not exactly softies in getting the job done either. And of the emotional water signs that tend to be all in or all out, these guys rank the highest because they're the most likely to abandon all efforts and hit the boogie and break out in research or break time at the slightest bump in the road. And that's Pisces. Yep, Pisces. Pisces is artsy, and this means they can lose themselves in an artistic dream world at the drop of a hat. And truth be told, they'd rather exist in that dream world than have to deal with the harsh reality of the waking and practical world. Yes, Pisces, along with the other signs, can lose themselves in drugs and alcohol. And yeah, they're unpredictable and they totally flake. But that's not what makes them lazy. And you'll see, it can be difficult to picture a Pisces as lazy because they're always doing things to help others. They're a great emotional shoulder to lean on in times of stress and adversity, but for Pisces anyways, this characteristic of helping others is actually a technique used to deflect or hide away from their own problems. It is. But here's a little more. Did you know, more than almost any other sign except maybe Aquarius, Pisces likes to support the underdog. They can be dogmatic in their humanitarian views, and it can get ugly. But, at the same time, it's kind of sweet, right? And if you're down, you can do a lot worse than ask a Pisces to listen to your troubles. Anyways, just like Cancer, Pisces can be messy. They hide away in a world of art, culture, humanity, business, yes. And they can also be found cocooned away in the library, all to avoid finishing the chores. You see, it's not that the water signs don't do anything or that they're sedentary by nature. That's the furthest from the truth. But by and large, the water signs only put efforts forward with things they want to do. And again, because it's emotional, anything can trigger it. But if efforts have not been triggered, then the water signs are simply not in. And yes, the laundry will pile up. They will be late for appointments. They will flake, and they won't care. And Pisces is the absolute worst at it. Does this make them lazy? Procrastinating, not meeting deadlines, hiding away, and applying half effort to daily chores? In my book, yes, that is what it is. And on this list of all the emotional, do things on their own time, in their own way water signs, Pisces is the worst. So number 4, our dreamiest and probably most unpredictable sign, and definitely the laziest water sign, Pisces. Alright, next. Okay, now that we got out of the business of upsetting the emotional signs, that's out of the way, let's move on to the signs that are not only known as lazy, but they also look the part. So this should be pretty easy. Number 3, and don't even try to play me on this, Leo. Yep, Leo is the king of the jungle, and the king easily makes this list. Why? Good question. Well, at first glance, Leos are hard workers, especially if the boss is watching. Leos like looking good, but when the lights go down, Leo's just as comfortable sitting around and letting others do things for them. Remember, Leos are really good at manipulating others, and they tend to always be the center of attention. And truth be told, they like when others are doing things for them, and they expect it. Some signs like it, some signs don't. Leos love when others wait on them hand and foot. And if you don't, well, Leos can be downright grouchy, they can be mean and off with their heads, regal about it. They don't have the worst temper, but you still don't want to upset the queen. Anyways, what else? Leos are renowned for shirking responsibility and lounging in the sun. And my friends, no other sign lounges quite as well as Leo. Seriously. If a Leo decides to take things easy, well then they're going to take it easy. And they do things on their own time, in their own way. And they think they're the boss. So again, they have this weird sense of entitlement. To a Leo, alright, they actually think, Leos think they're supposed to be taking it easy, and you're supposed to be doing the work. So, even if a Leo is goofing off, you better be busting ass, or else you're going to hear about it. And I know it doesn't sound fair, but that's the way it is. So, if you want to play with a Leo, then you're just going to have to get used to it. Yes, Leos are capable of tremendous amounts of work. Yes, they're beautiful, and they always look good and are always shining. But I know you're not going to like hearing it, but Leos don't pull their weight. They're the number 2 slacker sign, and more often than not, they get by on good looks, charm, and a regal look at me attitude. It's all fine really, but keep in mind, Leos think a lot of the things that their efforts could be put towards are simply beneath them, and as such, it's work for you. So be careful. Our number 3 laziest sign, Leo. Alright, Next, I know that from the outside it seems like these lists are subjective, right? And I'm just throwing out what I think. But no, these lists are based in astrology, and the top 2 signs are both ruled by the planet of beauty, attraction, money, grace, and being lazy. And that's Venus. And I'll give you a little write-up here. Often, people can be found looking for trines or flowing aspects in a natal chart or a transit chart to see what they're attracting and where and when, and where they're going to have good luck. But it doesn't really work like that. Trines involving Venus doesn't mean some kind of good shakeup is coming. It means a time of ease and no stress. Yeah, attraction, but mostly trine in your chart involving Venus usually means a time of ease. And if you don't watch it, lethargy. And that brings us to our number 2 laziest zodiac sign. And I so wish I could rank them higher. But number 2, Libra. Straight up. Now, Libra is mean at heart. Did you guys know that? They'll never admit it, but it's true. Oh no. But it's true. Oh, okay, back to work. But Libras have a very dark secret. And it's that they secretly hate and look down on everyone. It's true. So, often when they're being lazy, it might actually be out of spite. Or they're just being unreliable and flaky. And I'm not going to play you on this. I'm not playing with this one, I'll give you an example. I hired a Libra, right? A double Libra to accompany my kids on their exam. The Libra showed up late for their exams with kids. How could you do that? You're getting paid. She showed up late for rehearsals. She skipped rehearsals with the kids. And the kids were waiting for her, and she never phoned. She's a 100% flake, and I should have known better. And that's just one example of many, many Libras that I know. Anyways, she's not the only one. Libras have a reputation for a reason. And it's worse. Like Leo and Scorpio, Libras are master manipulators. They use sex and their natural beauty as a weapon to get what they want. Libras, to put it bluntly, well, they lie. But they're so good at spinning things that they'll make you look like you're the one to blame. And this might be hardwired in because I've never met a Libra in my entire life who apologized for anything, Like never. And I wouldn't even bother to ask. Oh no, I keep getting these messages. Okay. But there's more. Libras are like Leos in that they have a sense of entitlement. But it's different. Libras don't think that they're the king. But they do think their natural beauty gives them a personal exemption from hard work. It's true. And I don't know if, like Leo, they're used to people doing things for them or not, but they do expect you to do the heavy lifting when, they go prepare lemonade or something, right? But it's cute, but it's kind of coming from a bad place. Anyways, no, Libras are not kings of the jungle, but they're the number 1 groupie. So if the king is lounging and taking their time, then Libra is goofing off right beside them. And this, my friends, is a total lock. Okay, how about this? Maybe they only appear lazy, Sonny, because they're so indecisive that they spend so much, of their time making up their minds that they never get around to the chores. No, I'm not falling for it. And neither should you. When dealing with a Libra, the truth is, regardless of anything they say or do, they had no intention of following through. And they don't care about the consequences. Libras like to be with the star, remember? So think about it. Why should they get their hands dirty or chip a nail when, they're with the star for a reason. And that reason for whoever is foolish enough to fall for it is to make Libra's life as comfortable as possible. And in return, they'll make you dress the same as them so you look like you're on some stupid team. It's kind of a joke. But astrologically, it's Libra is ruled by Venus, and it is a total lock. Our number 2 laziest sign, Libra. And that brings us to to the number 1, but first some honorable mentions. Capricorn. No, not even close. Capricorn doesn't have a lazy bone in their body. They're all the good stuff of Scorpio minus the cuckoo bananas mentalness. And Capricorn has goals, right? And they work tirelessly to achieve them. So, not Capricorn. Who else? Virgo? Not even a little bit. Virgo's constantly processing information, so even if they wanted to goof off, the way their minds work, it's not going to happen. Plus, Virgo's always worried what others are going to think of them anyway, so not Virgos. Anyways, that brings us to our number one, undefeated, hey, I keep getting messages, hold on. To our number one, undefeated, non-debatable, even worse than Libra, laziest sign of the Zodiac. And please don't hate me for this one. I do love you. But that brings us to... Oh, anyways, that brings us to, for every possible reason that you can think of, Taurus. Now look, Taurus is a hard worker, and they have some of the biggest, strongest endurance of all the Zodiac, right? But let's see. First and foremost, and it really bugs me, Taurus takes the easy way out. Okay, yeah, they are peaceful by nature, and they're placid and often unflappable. And now that I'm a little older, I kind of get it, and I respect it more. But the path of least resistance doesn't always get you to the goal, I'm just saying. Next, Taurus. They're notorious for being slow. But unlike Cancer or Libra, who are both running all over the place, Taurus is just slow, And that's when they're being fast, seriously. What else? Will they let the dishes pile up? Yes. Will the laundry be done? No. And it's not like Scorpio, who lets everything pile up and then in a giant swoosh of Mars energy just kind of cleans up the place and gets everything done. If a Taurus doesn't get around to the chores, then the chores, they're not getting done, period. And what's Taurus doing in the meantime? Unlike every other sign, Taurus is doing nothing, They're not even lounging or goofing off. They're just being graceful and loving and peaceful and, usually telling me to calm down and be patient. I mean, what else? Do you really need more? They don't take their shoes off when they come inside. They wear their pajamas to the coffee shop. Everything is always late and usually has donut stains on it, The reports have donut stains on it. Can they amp up the pace when the game gets hot? No, they can't, That's why they rank number one. Anyways, what else? Alright, everyone come. Taurus is super gentle. They're super curvy, super muscly, they're soft-spoken, and they are the beauty queens of the Zodiac. Their dark side almost never shows its head because by nature, Taurus is peaceful. They don't go along with the ride like Pisces or Libra, but they're steady, stable, and peaceful. But the downside of all of this, the number one, undisputed, laziest sign of the Zodiac, and I don't see myself changing my mind anytime soon. I love you so much, but damn, I hate waiting all the time. Taurus. That's the action. From thesunnyside.net, I'm Sunny, reminding everyone to take everything with a grain of salt and to have fun with the lists. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please do so. Maybe share one of the videos. And, your friends might get a kick out of it. And always, and as always, reminding everyone that love is everywhere if you know where to look. Woo! So, from thesunnyside.net, I'm Sunny, wishing everyone the absolute best of a beautiful week, and I'll see you soon.